proud nation. In fact, globally, Kenya is recognized as a democratic country. It is part of the reason why in 2023-24, I paid a visit to America, and the single most important component was the fact that we share in our celebration of freedom and democracy. We have been given indication as to where we are with the economic pillar. In fact, I think of all the pillars, the economic pillar is where we have done not very well, at around 50, I think it was 52, 53%. On the social pillar, we are around 60. We have made progress. Today, we have significantly in our region, we've done very well in terms of paved roads. We have 20,000 kilometers of paved roads. We have a working SGR. We have an expressway. We have dualed some of our roads. We've extended electricity. We now have 10,000 homes. 10 million, sorry. 10 million households going to 11 million households connected to electricity. Our transition on education is significant. We have done very well. But why are we having this conversation? And I want to thank the people of Kenya. When I asked the country that it is time for us to have a national conversation about the long-term vision of our nation, we have been explained to why. Number one, Vision 2030 will come to an end in the next 3 years. Medium-term plan 4 is ending in 2027. For us to plan medium-term 5, medium-term plan number 5 is going to take from 2027 to 2032. Yet Vision 2030 is ending in 2030. So we need to have the longer-term vision for us to be able to plan medium-term 5. Reason number 1. Reason number 2, when we figured out Vision 2030, 20-something years ago, the world was much different from what we have today. Technology had not taken the space it occupies today. The advent of AI was not with us. We didn't have the serious effects of climate change the way we have today. We had a completely different situation. It is important that at this point in time, we give ourselves another opportunity to think about the long-term development of Kenya in the context of the world that we live in today. Number 3, when Vision 2030 was developed, it was developed before the new Constitution. The new Constitution provides us with a better and clearer framework on how to think long-term. And therefore, it is important that we engage in this exercise in the context of a new Constitution. A new Constitution that does not request us to consult the people. No, it is mandatory. The reason why you find in some cases many people do not understand, do not relate to Vision 2030 was because there was no public participation to the extent that we know public participation as provided for in the Constitution at the moment. And therefore, we have an opportunity, this time round, different from the opportunity that was in 2008, to formulate a long-term plan, one that is done by the people, not by government, not by bureaucrats, by the people themselves. And therefore, we need to give ourselves the opportunity, and this opportunity that we have to think about Kenya long term. We want to pick the minds of everybody, the farmers, entrepreneurs, students, technocrats, everybody. Let them tell us what kind of future that we all want to think about. And nobody should assume that any one of us has the monopoly of knowledge. This cannot be, and I make it very clear, this is not a government project. This is a people's project. So Kenyans must prepare themselves. It is a responsibility put on our shoulders collectively. And I will be speaking as a citizen as well, because I also have aspirations on what I think our country should be, beyond me being a leader today in Kenya. And number 4, just so that we contextualize this, the center of gravity, global gravity, in terms of growth is moving to Africa. Africa today is pivotal. Why? Because of 4 reasons. Number 1, we have the largest reserves of renewable energy. We have the youngest population, a population that a quarter of the world's population will be living in our continent by 2050. Number 3, we have the largest market that is emerging. Number 4, we have the largest reserves of uncultivated arable land for food security going into the future. And therefore, as the center of gravity, global growth moves to Africa, we must position Kenya appropriately so that we become that epicenter. It is for those 4 reasons in my thinking that this is the moment for us to imagine the Kenya that we all want into the future. Many people may say, this being a year where we are going into politics, maybe this should not be the opportunity for us. Now, I want to tell them, Kenya is bigger than any election. For far too long, we have made elections to look like it is a matter of life and death. It is not. Yes, it is important. And the reason why we have not achieved some of our targets is because we have made our plans not with the foresight of the future, not thinking about the next generation, but simply thinking about the next election. And that is how we haven't met some of our targets. And I speak from a position of knowledge, and I speak from a position of experience. It's not always that you become a president of a country. I have the privilege to be the president today. And I want to speak from that experience, that the pressure that always you have, even when you know as a leader this is the right thing to do, you are told always, this will affect your next election, don't do it. This will affect your next election, don't do it. Many are telling me, oh, you know, why don't you concentrate on the next election? Leave this thing, it can be done some other time. I'm telling them, the next election will come and go. Kenya must think beyond the next election. Kenya must think for the next generation. And I want to ask all of us here to think beyond any election cycle or any administration. We must think about the next generation. Let me conclude. I hope I'm not taking too much time. Let me say the following. I have listened to the presenters. I've listened to Professor Anyang' Nyong'o. I've listened to Adrian, the good young man who is 7 years old. I have also listened to Professor Hino. And as we have this conversation, I have picked 4 things. Number 1, Professor Hino has said, for those countries that have succeeded, and he's given us examples of Singapore, Malaysia, he's told us about Vietnam, and all the other countries. What was central to their quantum leap was the people. Not the oil, not the gold or resources, it was the people. And we are lucky as the people of Kenya because we have the people, and they are very hard working. So we have what it takes to lift this country to the next level. Number 2, he has told us to pay attention to inequality. A very serious challenge in our nation is inequality. We have too many people who still sleep hungry. We have too many people who are jobless. We have too many people who don't have income. We cannot progress as a nation when we cannot take care of the vulnerable. So Professor Hino has told us 20% of the bottom poor account for only 5% of income, while 20% of the rich people, of those of us in the higher category, control 50% of income. So 20% bottom, 5% of income, 20% top, 50% of income, meaning 10 times what the bottom has. We have to pay attention. We have to pay attention. How we lift those low-income people, how they access, how their children go to school, how their medical bills are paid, how they access employment opportunities, and how we create equality. Number 3, he has told us our opportunity is in raising small, medium, micro enterprises. We have an opportunity there. Sometimes we think they don't matter. But the good professor has told us that is where our opportunity is. How do we make micro, small, and medium enterprises grow? How do they access credit? How do they access opportunities? How do they access business? That should be we should pay attention. And then number 4, he has told us to pay attention to accountability, to dealing with corruption. He has told us 3 things. We now have a conflict of interest law, which we signed into law. There are many people who want to challenge it because it closes many doors on the people who have access to power, who want to use that power to access contracts and many things. Number 2, he has told us about EGP, We have been trying to implement EGP for many years. I am very happy that finally we have moved government procurement to an electronic platform where contracts can be transparent. We can know who is being allocated, which contract, for how much, and whether it matches the market parity. And he has told us that technology must play a very central role. I was listening to Mercy Mwangangi, our CEO of SHA, and he was saying the single most serious challenge he faces is how to stop fraud. You know? And we are very happy that finally, using technology, we are able to stem theft, fraud, and corruption. And to the good professor who has said here, going forward, technology is going to play a significant role in us taking this forward. So, in conclusion, let me say this. To the people of Kenya, nobody has a monopoly of good ideas. Beyond Vision 2030 is our collective responsibility. We must step up. It is a constitutional responsibility to each one of us. It is an obligation to each one of us to implement the Constitution. And part of implementing that Constitution is to figure out how we appropriate, access, and avail all rights that are provided for in the Constitution to everybody in Kenya. Whether it is human rights, electoral rights, rule of law, access to water, access to education, freedom from hunger, making sure that the Constitution, what the Constitution says, that every citizen must access the highest standards of health, the highest standards of education, the highest standards of housing. It is our responsibility collectively for us to have a plan on how this is going to be attained. And we have the opportunity. I want to pledge here that government is not going to lead the talks. It is going to facilitate. This is about the people. Whatever platform that is required to be provided, we are going to provide the platform. Let the people, in their diversity, the religious community have ideas, private sector have ideas, farmers like myself have ideas, students have ideas, the academia have ideas, our good friends in civil society, they have ideas. Let us bring the cocktail of ideas and have a plan for our country into the future. It is our opportunity. Let us not abdicate. Let us not delegate. Let us not run away from that responsibility. It is our duty, it is our obligation constitutionally to make sure that we think about the future of our nation so that Adrian, sitting here with us, 7 years old, will know what the future is going to look like. Thank you very much. I hope I have not taken too much, but this is the opportunity for us, and I am very happy to be part of this as a Kenyan myself. And believe you me, I will be part of it as a Kenyan. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that, Your Excellency. Thank you for the context. And Mark, just be on standby. I will be coming to you. That context is very important. We've heard that the center of gravity for growth in the world is shifting to Africa. The world doesn't want it to shift to Africa, but inevitably it is shifting. And African countries, through their strategic actions and positioning, will determine whether it shifts on the world's terms or it shifts on our terms. Kenya today, and Your Excellency will confirm, has been tasked with building an AU that is fit, informing the build of an AU that is fit for purpose for Africa today and the Africa we want. Kenya is doing that. Yes, and it is important. Kenya today has been tasked by the world with convening around the issue of trust. The Trust Summit is being held in Kenya under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And the world is looking to Kenya to tell the world, what are we learning about how we rebuild trust in communities, in societies, between citizenry, with government? How do we rebuild trust? So Kenya has a responsibility to think deeply about where she is going for ourselves, but also for Africa. Does that matter to us? I hope it does. I hope it does. Mark, I'd love to come back to you now to take us round the room. Yes, I see wananchi hands. We're ready to speak. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Julie, and thank you for those who... So I'll just start here and then you'll pass it back to the lady right behind you, young lad. So crisp and short.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sean Karanja Kinyanjui. I'm an investment professional, born, raised, and living in Nairobi. I'm a portfolio associate at a Pan-African venture capital firm. So on a day-to-day basis, I get the privilege to speak to entrepreneurs across Kenya and Africa and deploy meaningful capital into their businesses. I give you this context because every day I get to see Kenyans and their talent and ambitions on a day-to-day basis and even back and support these businesses. But I also see a lot of strong ideas and entrepreneurs held back by gaps in capital, infrastructure, and execution as well. And so for me, a vision beyond 2030 is very personal because it affects the trajectory of my career in the investment space, fundamentally. It also affects the legacy that I leave behind for my family. I'll be not so old, but approaching retirement by the time 2060 comes about. And so I need to personalize these goals for you as my leaders so that you understand what needs to be done for me. As Sean, I can't speak for everyone here and the mic will go around the room, but I have 3 key goals that I need to achieve by the time I am 60. And the first one is to be a captain of my industry. I want to sit like James Mwangi here on the podium and say, I'm a global allocator of capital, that people can come to Kenya and say, where's Sean? Let's give him capital. And under this framework of investment that we'll lay out for 2060, I will be able to manage and deploy that capital into our entrepreneurs and spur our economies. But for that to happen in this plan, we need to make sure that there is predictable monetary policies, strong and transparent institutions, investor confidence, so that when someone says, I am domiciling my fund in Kenya, they're not scared that most of it will go away to punitive measures or lack of transparency or get lost entirely because there's no strong ecosystem to support the businesses they invest in. And Mr. President, I do agree with you. Fundamental to that goal of mine is going to be eradicating poverty, because businesses and the investors behind them are only as good as the income that the everyday mwananchi has to spend on the products and services that these businesses offer. So that needs to be a thing. And Mr. President, just like you, I have a love and passion for agriculture. At our fund, we get to invest into agriculture products and projects across the continent. And I've seen the math, I've seen the data, I've seen the capital flows. And let me tell you, young people, agriculture is the way to go. We have the opportunity to become the food basket of the world. And one day I want to say that I want to step down from my role as the future James Mwangi and get into agriculture at scale. I want to become a farmer and export and feed the world. But to do that, the economics of farming in Kenya also need to work. Access to markets, logistics and transport, water, access to land, all of those need to work for that dream to happen. And my final dream, I just got married a month ago, and, and I plan to go forth and multiply. And so being a father, being a husband, being someone who raises a family in Kenya is core to me, because I need to make sure that my kids grow up in a meritocracy so that their education, their skill set, and the opportunities that are before them are what will open up doors for them, not their last name, not where they were born, who they know. That's the kind of future that I want for my children. And I want to be old in my 60s, living in a Kenya that works, and one that I can be happy in, and I can say, najivunia kuwa Mkenya.
Thank you. Over to you. All right, let me pass it over to you. And let's keep it short and crisp. And Sean, just for as an interjection, 60 is not to grow old. There are 60-year-olds here who feel targeted by what you've said. But I get your point, young man. 60 is not old. We still have very young 60-year-olds here. So, tuendelee nalo. Keep it short.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Achieng Masawa. I come from the great county of Siaya and a woman representative aspirant. I'm a social impact and enterprise-based consultant. I had a privilege to study in Israel and also study entrepreneurship in US through Mandela Washington Fellowship. I'm also a former student leader at University of Nairobi, where I represented gender affairs and also vied for chairmanship back in 2015. And as we sit here today, I am so grateful that this conversation is taking place. It has been so long overdue. I come from a county where we are the source that have been on the streets far too long. And I'm really, really grateful that one of the least developed pillar is economic pillar. And being a youthful country with a young population, I believe, and today is the International Youth Day, I believe that focusing our energy in enabling the capacity of our young people is the way forward. And today I am greatly challenged that the President of our great Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, has led the National Vision Board. I would like to challenge all of us as young Kenyans and every Kenyan to also develop our personal vision board to contribute to the growth of our country and to the journey to Singapore. Thank you so much.
Over to you, over to you. Melody, you have someone?
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, first of all, my name is Hilary Ojwang. I am a Gen Z of this nation and a graduate mechanical engineer. So my comment as of today is that, first of all, I want to thank you for this initiative, because we came up with Vision 2030, and we are now we are developing a relay of visions. So we have Vision 2030, handing it over to Vision 2060. So as we hand it over to Vision 2060, we really just have to reflect and check back and see what is our progress in the social pillar. We have made some progress. Our progress in the political pillar has been significant. But our challenge, Your Excellency, which is the key and the core of changing the life of our people, is the economic pillar. And as a young person, as a Gen Z of this country, I want to thank you because you are saving us in this, guys. Because when I'll be old, and in my 60s, in 33 years to come, the current generation, the generation Alpha, will be asking us for jobs and asking us, what did we do when we were young that they are jobless? That is why I'm thanking you, because by Vision 2060, we are trying to solve the solution of creating jobs for our people. My comment is that as our president, and we are praying for you, and we are going to hand over the job to you once again in 2027. I just want to ask you that in that last time, Your Excellency, focus on the economic aspect kindly. Our young people are still hungry. We still have few opportunities in our country. We want our economy to be strengthened. You say that a significant percentage of our country, our land, which is arable, is still used. Let us utilize that. Let us have food in our country that we can export. We can even process and export final goods to the global market. That way we'll have solved a lot of problems for our people and create opportunities. When you look around you, majority of the things here are imported. If you look at the speakers, the cars around here are imported. We will only empower our people if we can do much of the job here and export to the global market. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. God bless you, and I appreciate us for gathering here today.
Asante sana. Naona sasa kipaza sauti upande huu pia kimeruhusu. Kuna dada hapa, jitambulishe kwa dakika 10 nawe toa mchango wako.
Before you hand over the mic, ningependa participate. And to me, Your Excellency, I will say thank you very much. Kama si wewe, vijana wewe kwanza. Your Excellency, remember I'm a clinical student from KMTC, student leader. Na pia hii angalia mahali uangalia wanafunzi wamemaliza course zao za KMTC, and pia Masi Mwangangi angalia mahali hawa watoto pia. Tuangalie sisi wanafunzi wa KMTC, please.
Hello. Before he just adjourns it, I'm Brian. I'm the founder and CEO of B. Malsons. I just have one review to just ask. We've been actually trying to say, how are we going to create more jobs? Currently in Kenya, we have almost 11,000 startups. So if the government can just, let's say back up these 11,000 startups and just, let's say they just get funding, for example. Each startup can just employ almost 50 people. So those 50 people, as in, if they are now given actually money, they can actually now create more employment actually now for the young youths now.
Hello,
yeah.
I'm sorry, let me talk. My name is Anne Adhiambo Onyango. I am a volunteering secretary actually for a community-based organization known as Tekeleza Mtaani Initiative. So my question is about climate action. For me, I define Vision 2030 as attaining goals for the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. So I'm gonna go to SDG number 13, that is climate and its impact. We've been seeing news being warned that El Nino is coming September to December. So apart from us sending Red Cross to rescue missions and all that kind of thing, what are we doing with the drainage? And what are we doing to make sure that the adverse climatic repercussions don't get to us as individuals? Kindly, when you are thinking about 2030, think about climate change and its impacts, because I work with the community and it is not looking good at the grassroots. Thank you.
Asante.
Sorry about the challenge with the sound, and we're trying to get, I had promised this young lady here, na hapa, na point two, kwa sababu ya muda, lakini pia wewe utaposition watu pia. I love this sign. Let me just say, yes, I love the hands. I see you all. I appreciate that. And this is what we are starting. So atufungii mtu yote, lakini tunawapa wale ambao wanaweza zungumza kwa muda tu. I love the passion and I love the reaction. We just also need to give that side of the room. So that's why we're kind of giving an opportunity for those on the other side of the room. Young lady, please keep it safe, short, and then we will come to as many. But as you would appreciate, there's other parts of the program, and there's another opportunity for an open mic. I promise you. I promise you. Quick.
Thank you so much. I'm called Lucy Wanjiru Mbugua, a youth leader from Nakuru County, and aspiring senator come 2027 next year. And my question to the president is, there was a clip that Rigiji talked. We know Vision 2063 will go beyond your administration and possibly several generations. Now my question is, how will you make sure Vision 2030 belongs to Kenya and not to a particular government, so that the future administration continue implementing it regardless of who is in power? And as I finish, I want to say that I want this Vision 2030 to be a Kenya where there is no corruption, and where youths, we are employed regardless of who we know, as long as we are educated. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Asante, asante, asante. Tumsikie dada hapa.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Mr. President and the nation at large. My name is Nora Kerubo Rangi. I'm from the Open University of Kenya. First of all, I'm Treasurer. First of all, I want to thank you so much, Mr. President, because after almost 36 years, I was able to go back to the university and undertake my degree in business entrepreneurship and education. I was just watching you on a television set like this, and you were inaugurating Open University of Kenya, and I saw the opportunity, and I wondered, how doesn't Kenya know about this opportunity? Open University of Kenya is an online program where you learn from anywhere in the country, in the world. Continue with your business, continue with your business, with your professional life, but at the same time, upgrade yourself. So what I want to say is I've seen a very huge opportunity in this space. So President, as we are continuing, can we continue to implement this online learning space? I have seen students from across the world. I've seen students from across the continent coming to Open University. We are 3 years old only. We started with virtually zero, and we are now 30,000 students. So as Kenya, we can capitalize on this economic pillar and export education. Kenya is at the pillar of education, and they are coming from all over online. So I would like to see Open Primary Schools of Kenya, Open Secondary Schools of Kenya, and the rest is history. I've also seen people from other countries come here for the primary school education, for the secondary school education. So as we are 2030, that is also another pillar. People trust Kenya. They trust the education in Kenya. So that is a pillar I would like us to capitalize on and take advantage on. There are huge revenues in education. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Asante sana. Kuna wepo wengi huko. Acha nimtape ukaka mwenye shati yake ya maroon.
The President, the Deputy President, and all protocol observed. I might struggle to communicate because I've never addressed such kind of a congregation, but you'll get my points. I have very delicious points and very ambiguous points. Now, this is a national conversation that personally I expected the leaders from across the political divide to be able to attend. I'm quite disappointed that some leaders are not present. My name is Samson Ligala. I come from Kisumu County. My governor, Professor Anyang' Nyong'o, is among the leaders that are, spearheading the conversation. So, as you know, and as you understand, leaders from Kisumu like myself, we are very brilliant, and we are supposed to be on the conversation and on the table. Now, Vision 2030 was formed when I was in class 3. I didn't know much about it, but my late father, used to really talk about it like every day. So I got to understand, and I'm glad that today I'm part of the team that is talking, that is addressing the country, and I hope that in future, the foundation that was built, we can have a conversation on it and be able to make changes. Personally, I want to talk about my ward, because in 2027 I will be the MCA for North Nyakach Ward in Kisumu County, God willing. Kule, nataka kuongea kwa Kiswahili kwa sababu si wengi wanaelewa Kizungu wenye wananiona kutoka huko. Agriculture. Rais, naomba mnisaidie, mnipatie muda kidogo nimalize. Okay, thank you. So we should work on inaitwa value addition and empower the farmers at home and everyone, wale wananchi wenye wako chini. Hii conversation vile rais amesema tuweke conversation ikuwe kuhusu wananchi wenye wako chini, si leaders peke yake. Thank you for the opportunity.
Melody, I'm right here with the young one. Melody, I'm right here at the front, just to speak to two young representatives who are looking forward to Kenya Post Vision 2030.
Kisha baada ya hapo tutarejesha mic jukwani. Baada ya hapo kipaza sauti kitarejesha.
Samahani, sorry for that. Real quick, and then we'll hand it over to Julie because there's more to the program and there's another open mic session. But I love the passion. This is just an indicator of what we need moving forward.
To His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, all the Cabinet Secretaries, senior government officials, ladies and gentlemen, children, boy and girl. Is it afternoon? Yeah, good afternoon. So my name is Blessed Barak Juma. I'm 15 years old. And it's a great pleasure to actually be speaking in front of the President today as an advocate. I advocate for the rights of the children, especially child participation. And first of all, I would like to thank the President because I would say he's really considering the children because of bringing up the first State Department of Children's Services in Kenya. So, Mr. President, we really thank you for that. And I would like to also thank him for this vision 2060, beyond 2030, because as of 2060, I'll be 49 years old. And hopefully, God willing, if all of you will be there, all the children, they'll give me an opportunity to be the President of the Republic of Kenya. And I would say that this dream is going to continue, and vision beyond 2030 is going to be a great impact, not only to the people of Kenya, but to the children of the Republic of Kenya. So I will request child participation, not only by the voice, but children be included in decision-making, implementation of the vision beyond 2030.
Good afternoon, everyone. I really thank the Government Delivery Unit for inviting us to this conversation. So first of all, I'm going to go to the Agenda 2060. In inclusion of children, we would like to have the food security improved by investing in smart agriculture and true strength in schools feeding programming. And also coming to child protection services, we would like to strengthen the system supporting vulnerable families and ensuring every child knows their rights. Mostly protecting children must be included in creating these decisions in the 2060 agenda. Thank you so much.
Julie, are you ready to take it up? Just because of time and the next agenda, but there's another open mic and I appreciate the passion.
Thank you so much. We are blown away by the young voices. Give them another round of applause, please. And it's a reminder that actually very often our young ones are smarter, faster than us, but we still, as Wazir, have a few things to share and teach you, but this kind of dialogue is so important. Thank you. I know James wanted to talk to the young man, Sean. I think you will get a chance at a conversation because I must wrap up now. Let us give a round of applause to the panel as they take their seats. Sean, look for James. He wants to talk to you. So yes, thank you. Please take your seats. Panel, thank you so much. A better round of applause, please, for them. Please, please. Please. Ladies and gentlemen, as I close and hand over, we talk a lot about Singapore. And Singapore did many big things. But Singapore also did some fundamental, simple things. I want you to Google Lee Kuan Yew talking about the change. One of the things he stopped in Singapore was spitting. To transform Singapore, he stopped the culture of spitting. And they were very angry because they were passionate. They said, this is what we do, we spit. He said, you will stop spitting. And they stopped spitting. Another thing that he did was language. They all had different languages. Sisi tuko na Kiswahili. It's wonderful. They had different languages, and he told them, we shall speak the same. Pende, usi? Pende, we shall speak the same language. And I want to close by saying, as we have these conversations about what we want, part of what we want is individual responsibility. Mnatupa takataka, alafu mna complain. Mnauliza governor kwa nini? But if governor also is responsible for doing certain things, but we as individuals take our personal responsibility. If you throw something on the floor, ni nani, unataka nani to pick it up? So Kenya, let us rise, let us rise, let us rise. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Kenya. Thank you all so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie Gishuru, my senior in the profession, and actually the one who held my hand to get into the newsroom back in 2008. The reason I bring this out, it's a process and a journey of holding someone else's hand and taking them to the future. And I appreciate those who've actually grabbed my hand trying to get the mic. Your view or your opinion is not any less than any other, and it is just in the interest of the agenda that we have. I see your hand, sir. I see your hand, that we have something called a hack at 100. There's another open mic session, and I appreciate the passion, just to be able to accommodate those who prepared, something that we can envision in terms of the digital capabilities of hacking a future beyond 2030. And for that, I'd like to call on Bernard and Mika and team, tafadhali wakijiunga nasi hapa mbele, tafadhali tuwape makofi. Bernard and Mika, hack at 100. How can we hack this?
We hack Nairobi every time we are moving around with traffic. When someone told you how they got somewhere, ulisema uli hack traffic by taking a boda. Vijana, halo, halo. Halo, halo. We are here, we are building the future. I'm not feeling the energy. Vijana, halo, halo. Mr. President, halo, halo. Asante sana. When I say future yetu, tunasema tuko ready. Future yetu? Future yetu? Thank you. We need to have the energy so that Adrian, who spoke here so well, can feed off our energy. If we are building the future where everyone is bored, there is nothing to build. So, by the way, we are live on all platforms. We have a lot of creators who are live on X, Meta, Twitch. There's a Matatu parked outside, 2 of them. They are streaming on all platforms. So Hack Kenya 100 and Beyond Vision 2030, hackkenya100.com. We are live. Go online. We'll plug you with all the latest updates. Your Excellency, Dr. William Ruto, Your Excellency, Deputy Kithure Kindiki, thank you for organizing this session. And all protocols observed. And I have to say, Vision 2030 is the only foundation or structure that got me out of a village in Keroka, in Kisii, and took me to Alliance High School. Hashtag, I went to Alliance. We went to Alliance, and without free education, I wouldn't be here today. So Vision 2030 team, Mugo Kibati, Alliance High School, we see the dream and we are to build today. And nataka mnishikie namba mbili. Namba ngapi? Namba mbili. 75 and 100. 75 and? After we are done, mwenye atakumbuka zinamaanisha nini, utaniona nyuma ya tent. I'll give you something. But before we jump into it, I would like to introduce my team who has been behind an activity we've been doing for the past 1 week. We are running a Hack 100 hackathon where we had over 10,000 young people all over the world applying for them to propose bold ideas, bold visions in terms of where they want to see Kenya at 100. We had applications from San Francisco, California, Frankfurt, Shenzhen, all over the world, because everyone wants to be part of building our future. So I would like to introduce my team, starting with Kevin, and we can jump into the next 15 minutes or so to show you what we have. Kevin?
Thank you, Bernard. My name is Kevin. I work with young people to help them articulate their ideas and their passion so that they can be understood by people who want to build them out, invest, and I'm here to do strategy and coordination.
Hello everyone, my name is Shannon Oduor. I am an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. I'm representing the legal team on this Hackathon 100.
Right, my name is Naini Lankas. I also work with Shannon, and part of what we do for Hack 100 is that all of the hacks, the solutions, and the innovations that are coming our way are anchored in the Constitution. So we are keeping that in mind in everything that we are doing for Hack 100. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Jane Martha. I work under Hackathon and I'm part